Hi everyone. This time I haven't come with another prophecy, but I've written some. I'll record it and share with you later. It's time for a story. I want to talk about the days of Noah. Just imagine Noah preached for 120 years before the flood came. I'm so sure someone was not born when he started preaching, which means he might have preached for 60 years, then a child was born. Then the child grew up hearing rumors from the parents saying that there's a crazy man in the neighborhood. He always talks about a big flood coming. But he has talked about it for more than 40 years. And I hear he was talking about it for like forever, and nothing has ever happened. And the child grows up hearing these rumors. Then one day, the child who is now a teenager is sent to go and buy some milk. On the way, the child meets Noah. Noah is still talking about a big flood that is coming. Not only that, Noah is even building an ark. This teenager is amazed and remembers hearing the parents gossiping about Noah, calling him crazy, that he has preached for more than 40 years and nothing has ever happened. Well, the child decides to ignore him, following the advice of the parents. The child goes back home, doesn't say anything but keeps quiet. Well, it continues like that for another many years. This child grows up, gets married, have children. By the age of 45, all of a sudden, this child who was a teenager, who has now grown up, who has gotten married, who has had children, who is now at the age of 45, suddenly has instincts, is feeling in their heart that what if this Noah could be telling the truth? Since this child, who is now 45 years with their own family and is also a mother, she goes to the priest of those days and talks about Noah and tells the priest, I am feeling in my heart this man could be telling the truth. But the priest shouts and brushes off her requests and thoughts and tells her, that man is crazy. He has been telling us the same thing, and he has been saying it for over 90 years. And you know what? The rain comes and goes, but no, it has never rained that big. So no one believes Noah. No one believes that there's gonna be a big rain. So this woman who is 45 years suddenly decides to stop listening to her heart and decides to ignore everything. Without knowing, 5 years later when she is 50, that is when the clock hit at 120 years exactly from the time Noah started preaching. Now she is 50, she has locked the door, they are going to sleep, not knowing what is happening on the other side. Noah has already called all the animals two by two, they are in the ark, his family, they are in the ark, the door is shut. At night, the woman is woken up by a very big sound of rain. Well, she thinks, I don't think it can flood. Let me sleep, I hope my babies are okay. The next day morning, she opens the door, it's still raining. She decides to wear her clothes for cold days and go to the shop and buy some flour to make some bread for the children. While she leaves the house, it's raining so big. She goes, the shops are closed, no one has gone to sell. She walks a mile away, the doors are closed. No one is going out of their house, the shops are closed. She decides to go back home. She wakes up her children, makes some porridge, and they drink. She waits for the rain to go down, but it doesn't. At night again they sleep. The next day she opens the door, much water enters the house. It has started flooding outside. She goes again, they stay hungry the whole day. For she knows if she goes to the shop, there is no food, no shop is opening. The rain is big, everyone has locked themselves in the house. Her children are crying for food. She promises them that when the rain goes down, I'll buy you food, just go and sleep. They go and sleep. The next day, she wakes up in the middle of the night, in the early hours of the morning, and the water is next to her bed. She's so scared. Suddenly she thinks about that crazy man. That man they always call crazy. She thinks about 5 years ago going to the priest to ask for a confirmation about the flood, and he brushes off her thoughts and her thinking. And she starts thinking, what if this is it? She starts feeling pain. She regrets. 3 days pass by, no food, just drinking water. Can't sleep. The bed is overflowed with water. She has carried her children. She has put them above the cabinet, just somewhere above the shelf to stay there because they can't sleep. Their bed is under the water. Then she looks outside the window. What she sees is so terrifying. She sees the trees are broken, they are flowing with the water. She sees on the horizon some houses are being carried away by the water. Then she goes to the window behind the house. She checks on the other window and she sees dead bodies floating on the water. She is so scared. What she sees terrifies her so much that she forgets she has children. All of a sudden, her children accidentally fall from the cabinet into the water and they die. After she has stopped crying, she swims slowly to check if her children are okay. To her surprise, they are not there. She checks inside the water, she grabs their dead body, she cries and screams in terror. She gives up. She decides, let me just open the door and get out. Perhaps I might swim and go to where the water is heading. Perhaps there is space to be able to walk on dry land. When she opens the door, it cannot open. The pressure inside and the pressure outside is too much. So she decides to take something heavy and break the wooden door. She breaks it in pieces. The door suddenly breaks because the water is gushing inside the house. And she feels happy she has made it through, but before she could remove all the pieces of the door, much water comes inside the house and she's drowning. And that is the end of her story. Somewhere else in the world, it's raining and raining. People are thinking about Noah. Many are thinking about Noah. Many are wishing they listened to him. Many are wondering why they called him crazy. But many can't have time to regret because they are already dead. Maybe God gave Noah 120 years not only to finish building the ark, but also so that the news can spread to the ends of the earth, so that when it starts flooding, no one will say they never heard about the ark, about the warning, about Noah, whom they called crazy, but turned out not to be crazy, but turned out to be a true prophet of God. What if that was the reason? I have heard people say that Noah was not righteous. Why do you say that? Do you think suddenly Noah woke up and God told him, go and preach about the flood? No. Noah was righteous. From the moment he was born, God always spoke to him. God always prepared him to have a heart that believes, that knows the difference between the voice of God and the voice which is not of God. So when God told him about a flood, Noah believed him. For 120 years, he might have faced temptations to stop preaching because people are mocking him and calling him crazy. But what? He never backed down. He never gave up. He continued preaching. That only means he had a well-established relationship with God in heaven. that gave him strength to continue preaching about a flood that no one believed in. And finally, when it happened, Noah was in the ark, happy with his family and the animals, smiling, looking at his family, at the same time feeling sad that no one believed him. Noah might have wished he could open the ark and grab anyone who was nearby and save them, but too late. God had already locked the door from outside. There's no getting out, there's no getting in, there's no escaping, there's no saving anyone. That was it. What if now was like that day? What if those who are mocking Christians and telling them that there will never be a rapture? Perhaps Christians have been preaching about a rapture for more than 1500 years. People have been born, get old, died and gone. People are thinking there will never be a rapture. What they don't know is the rapture is a secret, it's a mystery. No one is supposed to know when it happens. It's supposed to remain a secret. Even when it happens, the left behind won't know it happened. So they might continue mocking because they are not counted to be part of it, which is okay. Perhaps after this world, in the next life, they will realize the rapture was supposed to be mocked because it wasn't meant for everyone. It was the chosen few. It wasn't meant to be a public charade. No, it was meant to be a secret. It wasn't meant to be announced that, wow, the trumpet is sounding, people are going up. No, it was meant to be a secret. Have you ever thought, what if the rapture was a public event? Won't people take their smartphones, start recording people flying and going up? And then they go and put it on social media, on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, and say, wow, we thought these Christians were crazy. Look, they're flying. But let them go away. We can have fun here down on earth. Do you think anyone will have a chance to take their smartphones and record people ascending? No, because it's a secret. It's not a public event. Do you think a driver will disappear and the car gets into an accident? No, it's supposed to be a secret, not a public event. Do you think a pilot will disappear and the plane crashes? No, it's not supposed to be a public event. It's supposed to be a secret. Even when children miss and disappear, do you think anyone will think, oh, my child or children are in heaven? No, they'll just say, my child has been kidnapped. Let's look for them. And do you think all children will disappear? No. Only few will disappear. The others will be around. Because the rapture is supposed to be a secret. It's not a public event. So none will know it has happened. Only those who are in heaven will know they have been raptured. Those who are on earth will continue with life as normal. So let's think if the days of Noah was just this, what is happening now around us in the world. For we are in the days of Noah. Luckily for the days of Noah, hiding in the ark was a public event. Those who were dying remembered everything he told them. But this time, hiding in the ark, in the rapture, is not a public event but a secret. Thank God no one will know it has happened. I hope I be part of it. Shalom.